come in, but after we've come to that center, remembered our essence of who we are. You have a healing pyramid that I love. I think that kind of explains how you look at all of this. And as we look at that, if they can bring up the graphic, it says at the bottom we have gravity, and we move through earth medicine, mind medicine, heart medicine, sacred self medicine to the divine medicine. And as we go up the pyramid, we're reaching toward, again, that essential identity.
Which is at the core.
That's it.
Now we can look at it from below or from above. All good physicians know that something that cannot be measured is the ultimate healing factor.
And physicians know that.
When they know that.
Okay.
But all modern technology says this is the pill that would solve this problem. So the pill solves a level of the problem, and sometimes it's absolutely needed. God bless pharmacology. God bless what has been created in the world of genetics.
Okay.
But that in itself is a tool so that the individual, once correcting the homeostasis imbalance, comes back and empowers themselves, empower their mind, to see what went off so that the dysfunction took place. So we are ultimately aware when we overeat, or we overdo, or we overcare, that we're out of balance. And when we're out of balance, we need to come back to balance.
Okay.
And many times we come back to balance by remembering what is off to correct it, and other times by remembering ourselves and center.
Okay, so that's the earth medicine base, followed by the mind medicine, because we need to make that adjustment on the mental level too. Now, what about that heart medicine? I like that, the love, forgiveness, and understanding
Immediately when we feel that we are causing something, we feel guilty about it. We say, oh, I blew it again. Oh, I made a mistake again. Oh, I fell again. And we get harsh on ourselves. Because of our early childhood conditioning, we are punishing ourselves now. That's where heart medicine comes in. And I don't mean cardiology.
No.
It means self-forgiving, self-forgetting. Yes, I made a mistake. I learned from the awareness. I don't have to get down on myself for the rest of my life. I can give love back to the flow where it went. That is forgiving back. So I forgive myself, and I forgive the situation, which allows me to heal. And sometimes that's very, very difficult.
Yes.
So this is a process that needs assistance, that needs support. On one level, it's the physical support of a hospital, of pills, of different techniques, of an adjustment, you name it.
Right.
At another level is the support so that we get it in our mind, we get it in our system, that we have something to do with it. We are not just the victim of the food poisoning. We ate that food. We didn't check, we didn't look, etc. Then comes the support for self-love. And that means surrounding ourselves also of individuals that will not hold the past against us.
Yes. That's so important, isn't it, too?
We need that forgiveness. We need that support system.
And choosing loving people who really want our highest and our best, and we don't want to have people around us who don't support that healing.
We speak many times about toxic relationship, toxic friendship. And sometimes a lot of what happens in society is you can't get well that fast. You can't heal that fast. Let me give you an example. There was this lady with breast cancer who came to my personal integration process, a seminar of 7 days. And in this process, she knew very clearly that she doesn't have that long to live here, even though she was sort of young, 60s. I call that sort of young.
Yep. Looks younger all the time.
Yes, every day. She knew that it wasn't going to cure her physically, and yet her shift in attitude, her self-forgiveness, her coming back to her own inner forgiving self allows for a betterment of her condition. Then we come to the identity. Then we come to the receiving point. And then healing is not in our hands anymore. First we take it in our hands, and then we give it to a higher power.
That is a surrender point that you take, is it not?
Exactly.
And you have been doing this your whole life. This is your philosophy.
This is my life.
Yes.
I even get a chance sometimes to experience it firsthand with myself.
And you know, I love the way that you had written in your book, Who Do You Think You Are, and also Pathways to the Soul. And you have been honored by the United Nations. Tell me a little bit, what is the honor that you have received?
We got the Peace Messenger Award in 1987, now 13 years ago, for a certain level of work we did in 7 countries that was empowering orphans, elderly, and prisoners to remember that the condition they were in was just a condition, and that they had the inner resources to come present in their life in spite of being old or orphans or in a restrictive environment.
Yes. So you have served in many different capacities for a long time. And I really feel that this book, that both of your books that I have read, The Healing Power of Your Sacred Self, takes us back to that essence, and you keep reminding us that that is who we are. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that we are a soul. And so Pathways to the Soul is really us coming back to who we are.
Yes, and Pathways also, the intention of this book is looking at so many, there are thousands, there are billions probably of techniques, but I chose 101 techniques so as to not make one more important than another, because for some people meditation is of great value, but for other people yoga or jogging or making love is access to the rest.
Thank you for sharing with us. And if you would like to be in touch with Dr. Carlos, we'll show you how, and we would love to hear from you, and we'll also have some parting thoughts.